The Star Citizen feature or bug no one is talking about. I don't know what it is. I'm suspecting that it has to do with, let's say, desync, maybe invisible or untargetable ships or invisible players, because that's still happening. Hopefully that's it. If not, I don't know what is it about. But is it in? Yeah, it's in 16.9. Let me switch to this then. React. There we go. So yeah, let's watch it, and I guess let's see what happens. I don't know.
It's one of the oldest bugs that refuses to die. It's practically become a feature. It's lurking around every corner. It's in your ships, it's in your habs, and it's inside our stations.
No, they're getting body dragged by an invisible person.
It's at your dynamic event.
Invisible players. Yep. Nice.
Invisible person.
It's at your dynamic events, your jump towns, and your xenothreats. And it strikes when you least expect it.
Have an invisible guy taking him out inside the station.
But honestly, if you always expect like shit like this, you're never gonna be surprised. But yeah.
Of course, this could be only one bug.
This is amazing that it's still happening for more than a year, for like almost 2 years now. The first time I had an encounter with this, although it is a bit better now. Now you can actually see your like party members. I never saw an issue with like party members not being there, but also it's still happening, and it's much worse if you don't see the enemy than like not seeing the party member. Also in I'm gonna say 3.16, maybe it was 3.17, I'm not sure. I was testing out some stuff. I didn't stream back then, but I was there with my friend Judge Chaos, or you may know him as Lex. So I played with him. We were trying to dogfight. A bunch of us were trying to dogfight each other, and then I moved in. I started shooting them, and they were like, "Where the fuck am I getting shot at? Like, who is shooting me? Who is shitting me? Who is shooting me?" And then I was like, "Dudes, can you not see me?" And they couldn't see the whole fucking Gladius that I was in. What's up, Astro Chronicles? Thank you. Wait, are you the Astro Chronicles? I guess you are. I'm a big fan of your videos too.
For Star Citizen's live player experience.
And welcome. You shat yourself.
The Hollow Man.
So, what's it like being a ghost?
Ghost your days. I'm very much alive.
You can see blood splatters hitting you.
We gotta make a podcast together. And also that leader needs to be there. He is the hype man. I'm the grumpy guy. You're the like more, I'm a say normal guy because I'm Serbian and my brain is not working, but that leader is gonna be the hype man.
I cannot see either of you, and if there's a ship here, I cannot see that.
Oh, nice.
This is getting a little bit ridiculous now, and it's starting to feel like we're screaming into a void and nobody's listening, least of all CIG, regarding this issue. The invisible player bug has been around a long time, but it seems...
April 14th, 2021. Which patch is this? April 14, 2021. That's going to be like 3.14, I think. Right? Something like that. Maybe even 3.13. No, it's not 13. Doesn't say here.
Seems
but it's like way back.
Don't want to acknowledge it, least of all CIG. Sure, they've claimed it's fixed multiple times and even archived it on the issue council multiple times. But whenever we've tested it after a supposed fix, it never actually is fixed. So, I'm making this video to entertain, inform, and generate some discussion around what I believe is simply game-breaking. As someone who enjoys playing with other players in Star Citizen, this problem has basically rendered that notion impossible. In a multiplayer game, in a multiplayer world where other players can influence the outcome of another player's gameplay, the ability to see said players is pretty damn paramount. Yet
Yes.
this is hardly being acknowledged. I think most players don't even know this issue exists or how widespread it actually is. And for those who do know it exists, they don't encounter it regularly enough to see it as a big problem, especially if you're more of a solo player or stick to very small groups whenever you play. So, please let me know in the comments below if you knew this was a bug, before seeing this video, as it might give me a better idea of community awareness surrounding it. Let me give you an example of a recent incident where me and my group developed the Hollow Man bug halfway through a small group session. We started off fine, playing as a group, hitting bunkers as we often do. We flew to Port Olisar, where our ship crashed and everyone inside died, as we often do.
And it always
Myself-
happens after death for some reason.
And another player, True Sneak, respawned in Orison, while our
And, like, I would assume that it's like heavy desync on server side, but I'm not
friends
sure.
respawned at Grim Hex. Upon returning to Port Olisar to regroup, half of the group, including 2 ships, were invisible to me. True Sneak, my pilot, also couldn't see them. Additionally, True Sneak, seen here, left the ship in EVA, and as I went to leave, my character stumbled and sort of lagged in position. Once I stood up, True Sneak had completely disappeared. At this point, the only way to fix the issue seems to be a relog. And this is just one example of an occurrence of the Hollow Man bug. Oh, we don't see it.
And like the party marker is gonna be showed like 30 million kilometers away.
I see it.
If you're a fan of my content, you'll know I like to do things somewhat big, from FPS training and combat to full-blown fleet battles. So when you're playing with a large part of the server population on a regular basis, the likelihood of encountering this issue increases exponentially. And we've encountered it a lot over the last 2 years. We started noticing issues with invisible players in patch 3.8. So my first question was, what was so significant about 3.8? What changed? What could be creating this problem? Our best guess would be the addition of SOCs, server-side object container streaming.
Server object container streaming is an important milestone because it allows us to achieve a certain scale in the game that we weren't able to previously.
To put more content for the players
It could be
to
that.
explore without being limited by server resources.
Core tech integral to Star Citizen's future as a fully functioning real-time MMO. Now imagine
But also
in 3.18 where we now
why would it be that? I'm not sure.
have the prospect of boarding ships, stealing cargo for profit, and the FPS arena that is SBK. Not to mention Jumptown, Xenothreat, Ninetales Lockdown, Siege of Orison, all these other large events where lots of people are going to be impacting each other's outcomes. I don't think I have to tell you how game-breaking it is for invisible players to be running rampant.
Also, there's one more thing that's happening, and some people know how to exploit it. Now, I'm not going to share how to do it, but you can become invincible in the game by doing a certain procedure. And that's been in the game for forever now, basically.
Around these gameplay loops. So my first question is, why? Why is this bug proving so relentless? Again, our theory is that this bug is somehow deeply rooted in SOCs, which is roughly around the time when the bug first appeared in Star Citizen 3.8. Now bear with me because I am not a developer, nor do I intend to become one. So I'm probably going to sound like a dum-dum, but here's my take on it. Server-side object container streaming allows the game to stream players, places, objects in and out of existence, only showing them to you, the player, when it is necessary in order to preserve server-side resources. What it looks like is happening is these resources, in this case players and ships, are being streamed out for some clients in the verse, but failing to stream back in properly when the need arises. The game seems to develop an issue during play sessions whereby it fails to place a player into the correct container.
Although it doesn't really matter in which container he is, that's the issue, or object container. Because wherever he goes, he's still gonna be invisible. Sometimes you can see, like, you know that your party member is there on your ship, and you can see him entering the turret, and that's it. And after he leaves the turret, he disappears again, or his model gets stuck in the turret. Because I think that the server just like teleports his body or his avatar or his character, or whatever you want to call it, actor, teleports it like back to like the null point, the Stanton star, and that's it.
after that player has crossed the threshold of a different container or something. It seems to be what we have observed over time, as this problem occurs when you transition from a ship's physics grid or logged out in a bed, then re-entered the verse, or simply died and respawned in a ship's bed or landing zone hospital, outside of a container or area that you and other players were previously synced with. You're in the same server and shard, but it's like the game failed to register your client after crossing a container.
Like, the reason why I think the game is, or the server treats the player or the character like he's still at the 0 point, is because of the party member marker that's always going to be like somewhere towards the sun, and wherever I don't even know if the sun or the star is the 0 point. I'm not sure, but it's always like 30 million kilometers. So I don't know.
Threshold. Ultimately, you could just say it's desync, but the fact that this bug has been consistent for 2 years now, I believe it goes deeper. It also appears to be much worse in 3.18. This tech
Could be an issue with socks, yeah.
is an intrinsic part of making Star Citizen work the way it does, and that is why I think this bug is particularly hard for CIG to squash. I'm also a little bit concerned about CIG's silence on the issue, as even when it is claimed to be fixed on the issue council,
Emergent
I do
gameplay,
not CIG's
I just gotta
squash.
replay this again.
And that is why I think this bug is particularly hard for CIG to squash. I'm also a little bit concerned about CIG's silence on the issue, as even when it is claimed to be fixed on the issue council, I do not believe it has ever been listed as a fixed bug in prior patch notes.
Yeah.
And, as previously mentioned, it's never actually fixed. That being said, they have recently acknowledged an issue with the lower Valkyrie turret, making players go
This is one of the
invisible after
latest
interaction,
patches from a couple
which
of
could
days
well
ago.
be a very good place for CIG to start, or at least a good indication that CIG is aware of the issue to some degree. But are they aware of how widespread this problem is and how commonly it can occur? And will they acknowledge or at least address the community on a game-breaking issue that we have endured for 2 years now? Or is CIG unable to shine some light on this? Are they struggling to figure it out? Is there an inherent problem with the core tech of SOCs? Or are we once again going to be waiting for a fresh character?
They know about all the problems. They know about the invisibility and the invincibility, but it's like a matter of when they're gonna address it. I was thinking about making a video how to become invincible, but I was like, no, it's better not to do it because I don't know if they actually have time to do it and if it's that easy to do. Because, for example, with the attachment thing, where you could like attach the Moab onto your whiskey glass or crash your servers with the whiskey glasses, that fix was like not that hard to do. You just like take out the attachment point that was there for whatever reason on the whiskey glass, and that's it. But with this, it could be much harder to do, and we don't really know if they have enough time. So I got attacked for like the whiskey glass video because like, why are you doing that just before a major event? Well, because I want your servers not to crash while you're playing your major event. That's why. But also, making a video like this, even though he didn't show how to do it, he did say how it can happen, and it's not, you can't really do it every time, basically. But sometimes it persists. Like, sometimes it just fucking happens every time, right? Whenever you die, you go invisible. I think it's gotten better in the 3.18 and 3.17, although I didn't really play 3.17 that much, but I think it's gotten better, like to a degree where it's not happening that often, but also it still needs to be fixed. And I'm pretty sure, like, I know, I don't know for a fact that they know about this. I'm pretty sure they know about this and that they were going to work on it. But the issue is, and the invincibility bug, but the issue is, like, where do they find the time to do it? For me, I would say that, like, the time is now. That it's always the right time to fix those bugs because they might persist even in 4.0, etc. So if you fix them now, you will know how to fix them later if they like reoccur, if the bug is reoccurring. But the issue is we don't know how hard it is to fix this, or in the end, what like makes characters go invincible or invisible. You know how to do it, but you don't know what happens to the servers or what happens to the engine when that happens.
Carrot on a stick, some silver bullet tech that will come along and fix this for future renditions of the game. Frankly, I'm getting tired of this problem persisting through every patch since its arrival. I would like to continue backing and playing Star Citizen with confidence in the fact that CIG is aware of this problem and what might be required to fix it. The best outcome of this video would be some acknowledgement from CIG and some endorsement from the Star Citizen community. I'm also just trying to raise awareness
Imagine
about
doing
this
Jump
issue.
Down, which happened. You're doing Jump Down and there's like an invisible guy that's just like whacking you all. What's the point in doing Jump Down then?
PSA for players and to try and create a shift in consciousness around this bug. You might have had a run-in with this bug in the verse and assumed someone was cheating, for example.
Well, I mean, some people know that they're invisible, so they're gonna abuse that because they're in a party and their party members will tell them, hey, you're invisible. So you never know if you're invisible to the whole server or to some people. So some guys, and I know this for a fact because I was in an org with some of those guys, would abuse the shit out of that just to like troll people, either by like soft trolling by like dragging bodies and scaring people, but then again, some of them would even grief, and you can't fucking know who's doing that. So yeah, this thing needs to be addressed, and this is a video by Detox, and there we go. You can check it out. Go sub to him. This is really important, and this really needs to be fixed as soon as possible, because like when before 3.18, no, it's not going to happen. I would love this to be fixed before the next Jump Town event or the next, like in 3.19, we're going to have another PvP event. So we wouldn't need to have, it's a horror space game now. Yeah, it's fucking Dead Space right now. So yeah, hopefully they saw this video and hopefully they're going to do something about it. If not, I don't know.